Well, it has been a little while since I've been following the news. I think summer and everything has totally thrown me off. So I'm like, catch up, catch up, catch up. I mean, there's not anything happy in the news, at least not too much happy. But, well, I guess the happiest thing is that President Trump's popularity remains strong. And I thought we'd talk today about how too much bread and too many circuses has been the downfall of Western civilization. You see, all the luxury is created the sheeple. It has created a breed of helpless, defenseless worms, for lack of a better term. And whenever trouble comes, and he said the government has engineered this, so the people have become very dependent. And now when the government finally is cracking down with their corruption, the people find themselves in a rather defenseless position. And another thing is also all the life of bread and circuses that the Americans and those in Western civilizations have come to know and enjoy for all these last 100 years or so is really an artificial, fake life. Real life is about struggle, misery, suffering, and death. And the Americans and those in Western civilization have enjoyed an amazing amount of prosperity. The only problem is they handed over the reins of their freedom and the management of their freedom to corrupt politicians. And here we are. Everybody has been having too much prosperity. I said, this should have been thought of, but I guess no other country before America had ever had such peace and prosperity. I mean, unless you count maybe some of the countries in Europe. But it's made the people weak. For a civilization, people should have kept in mind that they need to stay tough. They need to stay strong. They need to stay vigilant. And it's not just tough in a physical way, it's tough mentally and tough, ready to fight for your freedom and everything. Instead of just being lulled into the, my life has always been perfect, it always will be perfect, I'll always have everything, da-da-da-da-da. So, because there's mental barriers now for the sheeple to defend themselves. Because they've always gone along and gone along and gone along, and now when we get to a point where going along is suicide, the sheeple are unable to get the courage up, unable to imagine life without the government handouts, and just realizing how dependent they are upon the government, the socialist government. And it's really, really sad. So, while it feels like we're trying to lock the barn door after the sheep have been stolen, but, life goes on. We have to do the best we can. And I guess there is resistance boiling under the surface, and there are people doing things to try to improve our situation here in Western civilization. But of course, the left is moving at full speed ahead, as fast as they can. They're trying to ensure that we do not have a chance to recover from all their destruction they have wreaked upon our civilizations. But, like I said, they always said, beware of the Greeks bearing gifts. I say we've got to beware of the government bearing gifts, because that's what they've done. They have borne gifts with other people's money and used it to enrich themselves and prosper themselves, and they used it to make the people weak and dependent. And I would say that for any other civilization going forward, the people need to remember to be tough. They need to have, every generation has to have boot camp or something. They need to mental boot camp and physical boot camp and realize that they need to stay tough and need to stay vigilant about their politics and vigilant about their freedom, or else it's going to be going down the drain before their very eyes someday. And that is the point which we have reached, my friends. So, well, they say failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. But I said this is a collective effort. Freedom is a collective effort. And we have to be able to be organized enough to pull off our secession and start over. Start over clean, start over fresh, lose all the baggage of the last 200 some years, and just learn our lessons and try to be as corrupt-free as possible, at least in our lifetime. So, there are plenty of lessons to be learned here, but all we know is that tough times are ahead because everybody has been lulled and put to sleep by abundant bread and constant circuses. All right, at least we know the root of the problem. Identify the problem, that's the first step to correcting it and getting out of the problem. So take heart, keep the faith, and we just must keep on persevering, and we will end this dependency on government, bread, and circuses. Okay. Let freedom ring.